OHL players getting set for, of course, coming into this and also towards the National Hockey League entry draft is Lauren Kelly from Elite Prospects, and she joins us. Good morning, or actually now good afternoon. Lauren, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We are doing excellent. Hey, OHL draft weekend is always a great time of year. I want to go back. You were in Saginaw when the Memorial Cup was played there, and how much fun was that event to take in and watch the hometown crowd celebrating?
It was a blast. It was my first ever Memorial Cup. It was a really exciting finish, obviously, between London and Saginaw going head-to-head all season, and it kind of wrapping up the way that it did. It was very special to be there, and definitely a hockey memory I'll never forget.
Well, Lauren, we talk a lot about prospects, NHL, OHL. On your guys' end of the equation, how do you manage all that? There's a lot going on when you're watching multiple drafts each season.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, our main focus, as I'm sure most people who flock to Elite Prospects know, that our main focus is usually the NHL draft. And this year we have expanded to cover the CHL drafts as well. It's been a definite new challenge, an exciting one for sure. And yeah, keeping track of all these players can be a little bit difficult at times, but it's certainly a lot of fun.
Take us through, and obviously the team with Elite Prospects has sort of expanded things. It's obviously the place people have gone to, sort of the database of information and stats, but expanding the coverage. I'm sure bringing more stories to people as well.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a really great team of scouts, and we're looking for other potential talent out there as well as we kind of expand to cover the CHL drafts as well. It's a really great team. We're all working super hard throughout the year to make sure that we bring the best coverage to people as possible who are curious about future prospects and the top players available for the drafts, bringing both like analysis and insight and obviously stories about these players as well.
Well, I'll say this, there's never a broadcast where I'm up in the booth that I don't have Elite Prospects open on my tablet. It's quite the resource. Looking ahead to the NHL draft, Lauren, the OHL, and we've talked about it all morning now into the afternoon, the group that is coming from the OHL this season. It's very deep. There's a lot of high-end talent here, players that'll hear their name called early. Who stands out the most for you? Maybe I'm putting you on the spot here, but who's your kind of number one from the OHL?
It's really difficult. There's obviously three great talents right there at the top with Matthew Schaefer, Michael Misa, and Porter Martone. Obviously, it's a little bit unfortunate that Schaefer has missed so much time with injury this season. I think he's right now the undisputed number one talent. It's undeniable when he steps out on the ice in the games that he has played this season, how talented and skilled he is, how confident he is on the ice, very self-assured and assertive, well-rounded player. And he just commands the attention when he's on the ice. And I think we saw at the World Juniors in the limited amount of game time he did play, he was Canada's best player in that game and a bit of the second game of the first period, but before leaving with injury. And then obviously what Michael Misa has done in Saginaw this year has just been remarkable, to obviously go to the Memorial Cup last year and then come back and bring that experience and really lead Saginaw to, obviously they didn't have the playoff run that maybe they were hoping for, but the way that he has kind of stepped into that number one center role and kind of led the team has just been really remarkable to watch. And with Martone, obviously, in Brampton, again, like another really, really talented player who has been the driving force of the Steelheads all season. And we saw when he wasn't there with the team in December for the World Juniors, they really missed his presence, and his absence was a big hole to fill. And once he returned, he kind of just got the ball rolling again, and then obviously they kind of carried that momentum into the postseason and obviously fell a little bit early to Oshawa in the first round. But all three of them had tremendous seasons, and it's really a rarity for the OHL that we haven't seen in the last few drafts where there's been really three caliber number one talents of coming out of the OHL for the NHL draft. So it was a really exciting time to be watching the OHL. And obviously I could go on and on about there's so many more players who will go high in the draft as well that are coming out of the OHL beyond those three.
Lauren, when we were in Saginaw for the Memorial Cup, we saw Michael Misa, but he didn't have to be the guy for the Saginaw Spirit. And, I know myself, I thought it was a great situation for him to be in the big game, but just didn't have to be the guy and then allow him to grow into being such a leader for the Saginaw Spirit this season. I'm sure, you saw him in person in Saginaw the Cup. You've seen him in person this year. Have you found indeed it's allowed him to continue his growth that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it took a lot of pressure off him last year, not having to play top 6 minutes, kind of learning from all of the experience of the guys that Saginaw brought in at the trade deadline, guys like Owen Beck and even Hunter Haight, who came on the season prior, leaning on those players and their experiences, especially as he heads into his NHL draft year. And I think he really took a lot from learning from those players and becoming close with them. And he really brought those lessons into this season, as he was obviously not named captain until midway through the year, but he really blossomed into like a true leader that I think the Spirit needed heading into the second half of the year as they sold some players off at the deadline.
Well, Lauren, I've asked this question to a few of our guests earlier today, and I'm curious to get your thoughts of a player that, outside of that top-ranked group, who is somebody that is a personal standout to you, who's somebody that you expect will be a bit of a home run pick should an NHL team take them coming out of the OHL?
I'm a very big fan of Brady Martin out in the Sioux. Really, really hard worker, physical force out there. He's built for the playoffs. He's just a player, obviously, that kind of had a little bit of an under-the-radar year, obviously, with the Sioux not being as strong a team as they usually are. And I think we're going to see him really shine at the U18s if he ends up making Canada's team. And yeah, just a really, really fun player to watch. He goes 110% on every shift. And he's just, I think, one of those players that NHL teams will really, really want down the road, especially come playoff time.
Well, Lauren Kelly from Elite Prospects, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here on the OHL Draft.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is the OHL Priority Selection. I want to pick out a player you can see on the right side of your screen there. Elijah Hazer, also goes by Eli Hazer.